only bits and pieces of information, but what we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony.
When it comes to AI, there's a lot of unease, confusion, and FUD. Not for everyone, of course, but a lot of people are feeling anxious. While we can't know exactly what the future of AI looks like, what we can be pretty sure of is that they would want Bitcoin, the best money for all. AI is here, and unless something drastic happens, we're only going to see more of it. Pretty soon, instead of a human, you'll be talking to an AI for many of your day-to-day interactions. But AI, or their handlers, are going to want to be paid, and Bitcoin is inarguably the best money to have ever existed. Have you seen Blade Runner 2049? Do you remember Joy, Ryan Gosling's AI girlfriend? How about the movie Her? Given where AI is at today, how long do you think it'll be before we start seeing digital boyfriends and girlfriends? And while that might not be for you, some people will want their companionship, and I imagine the AI are going to want to be paid. And Bitcoin is inarguably the best money to ever exist. If you've spent some time on the internet, then you've seen bots. They're probably right down below in the comments talking about how Miss Cynthia helped them save some millions of dollars in their crypto strategy. Absolute nonsense. Please report them. I do it myself. But the reality is that we are surrounded by bots wherever we go. They post all kinds of things to sway our opinion in one way or another. When you've got thousands of these damn things posting swaths of information, then it starts to sway public perception one way or another. And it's going to get harder and harder to tell who is real and who is a bot. In this clip I'm about to play, Bitcoin Chad Michael Saylor talks about how this is a problem and it's only going to get worse, and how Bitcoin could help fix this.
The threat in cyberspace is I can spin up 100 million AI bots to take over Twitter or Nostr or Instagram or Facebook or Google. And they're more intelligent than I am, and they're more charismatic than I am, and they work harder than I do. And that means that I could use those to distort any kind of reality. If I want to be Katy Perry, I can create Katy Perry. I can create 100 million of Katy Perry's fans, and I can create
interesting choice, but yeah,
50,000 Katy Perry superfans. And it's all just a fictitious creation in AI land because the cost to create an entity has gone to zero, okay?
If you wanted to create or impersonate somebody, you could do this pretty easily, and it's only going to get more convincing as time goes on and the AI get more and more impressive. As Saylor outlines right there, the ability to bamboozle entire swaths of the population is only going to get easier as AI gets more and more convincing. Where Bitcoin comes in is if Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. charged a fee, a 5 sat, a 10 sat, a 100 sat fee, which is negligible right now in terms of cost, then all of those bots, all of these thousands of comments that you see, tens of thousands, millions, I don't know how many are being posted every day, but it's got to be a lot. If every single creation of one of those bots cost, say, 1,000 sats, 100 sats, whatever, pick a number, then the cost to run all of those bots is going to get extremely expensive quite quickly. 1,000 sats for you and I is not that much, but in time, that price could be lowered. It could go down to a half sat, 1 sat, whatever need be, depending on how much those sats are worth at the time. The point is that we would want to make it prohibitively costly for somebody to spin up 10,000, a million bots, but inexpensive enough for you or I, real humans, to post the comments and the things that we want to say. On that note, a little trail thought here is that I could see a situation where instead of a heart icon, that the YouTube channel owner could get a little zap back. So if they really liked your comment, they could refund you some of those sats, which would encourage you to leave really good quality comments. In this next clip I'm going to play, Matthew Kratter of Trader University talks about AI interacting with each other, transacting with themselves.
So imagine a car that not only drives itself, but also fuels itself at the gas station and repairs itself with parts from the auto supply store, and it also does its own oil changes. And you have to ask yourself, how do you think an autonomous AI car will pay for gas, oil, and parts as an AI drone, as an autonomous AI drone? Would you accept physical gold or silver? Of course not. Too bulky and difficult to transport and assay on the fly. Would you accept a US dollar stablecoin like USDC or USDT? Definitely not, because these can be turned off or frozen by the issuer, by Tether or by Circle. So what are the implications of this? Bitcoin is money for the AI, especially for future AI. And most people, most human beings are not as smart or economically literate as AI, and thus will be left holding the fiat bag. They'll be holding US dollars and other fiat. They'll be holding US government bonds and treasuries, etc. And in the process, they'll be losing purchasing power to inflation and monetary debasement.
You've probably seen the videos of these robotic dogs roaming around. And usually where people's minds go is seeing those dogs in their mind's eye, or actually with guns strapped on them, imagining them dropped into battlefields and gunning down all kinds of people or having robot wars. That is certainly a possibility, clearly. But what's another possibility is the commercial, economical impact of these things. You've probably seen delivery trucks rolling down your street. It's almost guaranteed that you have. But every time one of those trucks stops, it's a human that gets out, walks up to your door, and delivers the package, and that takes time. Imagine that instead of a human having to do that, the truck is loaded with a robotic dog, or a few of them, and they jump out of the back, deliver your package, you scan something, or they scan something on your door to get paid because they know that they've delivered it because the QR code is on your door and that's the only way to do it. Maybe when they scan the QR code, it opens a little hatch, drops the package in there so porch pirates can't get your stuff, and then the robots go on its way. The AI is going to want to be paid for what it's doing. It's going to need money to transact to get parts. It's going to need money to transact to get charged up. And the only thing that makes sense is Bitcoin. USD doesn't make sense because it's losing its purchasing power. All of the other stablecoins are garbage in comparison to Bitcoin. It makes perfect sense that the digital world would want the best digital money, which is also connected to the physical through proof of work. The next thing I'm going to talk about is pure speculation, but I see a not so distant future where we have AI companions. These could be romantic companions if you can consider them that way. For some people, it might be that. But what makes even more sense to me is having digital companions that are not romantic, but simply helpers. Things where you can ask them any kind of question. What time is a movie playing? What's the weather like? How do I fix this thing? What's the part that I need for this XYZ? Please grab me the STL file that I need for this part that I need my 3D printer to make so I can get my microwave back in functioning order. Anything like that. And the AI will be able to do that immediately, send it to your 3D printer. You've got that part, bada bing, bada boom, you're off to the races again. That's the kind of world I see. But that AI, or the company that creates it, handles it, is going to want to be paid. Whether it's a companion in the romantic sense or an assistant, it's going to want to be paid. That only makes sense. Why would you get these things for free? You might make the argument that Jeff Booth has that the calculator is free, and that might eventually be the case. But I can imagine a world where these things, these AI, are so handy, so useful that not having them will leave you at an extreme detriment. I saw a tweet where somebody said that you're not going to be replaced by AI. You will be replaced in your job, not in life, your job, by somebody, a person, a human that knows how to use AI better than you. And that's true of a lot of things. You could certainly make the argument that going online and being able to digest thousands upon thousands of years of information in the course of a week is pretty incredible. AI will only streamline that process and help you get that information all the quicker. It's going to be the people that know how to utilize that will be best positioned to take advantage of that technology. What this all has to do with Bitcoin is that no matter what kind of being you are, human, flesh and blood, a carbon-based thing, or an AI, a synthetic, digital being, you're going to need a way to interact with each other on a monetary, a exchange of value type way. And Bitcoin is clearly the best way that has ever been discovered to do that. So whether you're a human or an AI, Bitcoin is still the single best money to ever be discovered.